In some bad but also expected news for Boeing, the Federal Aviation Administration, in the midway point of September, issued proposed fines on the plane maker. I am just also in the process of moving at the time this video is going live, so trying my very best to record in advance to make sure there's not a 1 to 2 week window where there's no content. So apologies if you've already been made aware of this, but if you haven't, the fresh fines total some $3.139 million if they are enforced at the maximum on the Boeing company after several safety violations which occurred between a period of September 2023 and February 2024. These safety violations are related to, as you would expect, the door plug blowout incident which occurred aboard an Alaska Airlines MAX on January 5th of 2024 and really spiraled the manufacturer into the situation that they're still trying to recover from today. The FAA, following its own investigation, implemented the maximum statutory civil penalty authority consistent with law after it conducted reviews into the practices of the American manufacturer, following increased oversight across recent times. To highlight the sheer scale of the fines, the governing regulator stated that across its review, it had identified hundreds of quality system violations at the 737 factory in Renton, Washington, and at Boeing's subcontractor Spirit Aerosystems and their 737 facility in Kansas. All this was highlighted, and maybe the more damning, by two unairworthy aircraft being presented by the plane maker for its airworthiness certificates, which naturally went on to fail after the FAA was alerted to the state of the planes and the failure on Boeing's part to adhere to quality control. Additionally, the FAA said it had found that a non-ODA Boeing employee pressured a ODA unit member to sign off on a 737 MAX so that the manufacturer would be able to move ahead and meet the delivery schedule laid out for it. This pressuring tactic still occurred, despite obvious signs that the aircraft in question was not fit for delivery, and the ODA member knew that it would not comply with the required standards, but didn't have much of a choice, facing a fair bit of pressure from upper management. Pressures from within Boeing to sign off on aircraft have been a common occurrence across the last decade, promoting the need to expedite shipments to meet delivery schedules. Whether for the 737 MAX or the 787, the theme has been ever present. See, when Airbus moved ahead with its A320neo, they did so before Boeing could react, and it set off a chain reaction that pushed Boeing into the position it's arguably in today, a rebuild following a fair amount of turmoil. You see, in a bid not to lose ground, which was understandable, the business pushed to release a re-engined version of the 737 MAX. There's nothing inherently wrong with that idea, but they were trying to stretch the capabilities of what many felt already a dated fuselage to really the limit, to get the plane to market sooner rather than later, because they didn't want to lose market share to their competitor. And also, in a bid to get planes in the air sooner rather than later, they cut corners. You already know all about that. If you don't, that's a bit of a rundown. But the race to get the plane to market really engulfed the day-to-day operation. It didn't just center around the MAX in the end, but was present across many programs, as the underlying goal to raise profits and meet deadlines were imposed, pushing those on the floor to get aircraft out, probably you'd say sooner than what they should have. At times, the race for financial gain put the safety and quality control of aircraft being shipped out in the rear view mirror. Those should have been at the front. That's an obvious concern, and then these things that should have been priorities were not. They began to show in the new aircraft as they would encounter issue after issue. The Federal Aviation Administration, which has had a really tight grip on Boeing over the recent years and has conducted many investigations, has now pushed forward this fine, once more exceeding $3 million. Very keen to hear your take down below in the comments. Fine handed down to the manufacturer that they're looking to be implemented. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. And we'll fly.